Be me, married to Daniel for 14 years. Met him at a library fundraiser. He was a high school English teacher, passionate about getting books into underserved communities. Quiet, thoughtful, the kind of man who remembered small details. I was a social worker, focused on foster care advocacy. He asked me to coffee. I said yes. We dated for 2 years, married when I was 26. Our life was simple but full. Sunday morning pancakes, gardening together, long conversations about nothing and everything. Daniel wasn't flashy, but he was good, steady, present. Our daughter Maya was born when I was 29. Daniel cried holding her. He took paternity leave, changed every diaper, sang her lullabies off-key. He'd come home from teaching with stacks of picture books he'd found at thrift stores, already planning her library. I loved Maya, but I was exhausted. Postpartum depression hit hard. Daniel stepped up, cooked, cleaned, handled night feedings so I could sleep. He never complained, never made me feel like I was failing. When Maya was 2, I got pregnant again. Liam, another boy. Daniel was overjoyed. He'd always wanted a big family. He worked extra tutoring sessions to save for college funds, spent weekends building a bunk bed with his own hands. Our marriage was comfortable, maybe too comfortable. Daniel was still thoughtful, still kind, still the same man I'd married. But somewhere along the way, I started to feel restless, like I'd become a supporting character in my own life. Then I met Kyle at a foster care conference. He was a lawyer, charismatic, passionate. The kind of man who made you feel like the only person in the room. We started talking about policy, about systemic failures, about all the ways the system hurt kids. He understood my frustrations. Daniel listened, but Kyle got it. One thing led to another. I told myself it was just physical, just something I needed. The affair lasted 6 months. During that time, I got pregnant with our 3rd child. I ended it with Kyle before I started showing. Daniel was thrilled when I told him about the baby. Started planning the nursery, refinishing an old crib he'd found at a garage sale. Alina was born when Maya was 6 and Liam was 3. Daniel held her with such awe, such pure joy. He'd take the older kids to the park every Saturday so I could rest, started a bedtime story rotation where each kid got their own special book. I dove back into work, got promoted to program director, started traveling for conferences, speaking on panels. Daniel never asked me to slow down. He'd send me texts during my trips. Maya lost her first tooth. Liam built a Lego castle. Alina said Dada. Always supportive, never guilt-tripping. The second affair started with a colleague, Marcus. We'd worked together on a project about kinship care. He was smart, intense, challenged me intellectually in ways Daniel never did. We'd grab drinks after late meetings. He made me feel alive. That affair lasted 8 months. Then there was a third, with a man named Paul I met at a training seminar. That one was shorter, 3 months, but more reckless. I told myself I deserved it, that Daniel and I had grown apart, that I'd sacrificed my needs for so long, I was entitled to something for myself. I never stopped to think about what I was risking. Daniel was so trusting, so secure, he'd never suspect. Until the diagnosis. It was a routine physical. Daniel had been feeling tired, losing weight. The doctor called with results. Pancreatic cancer. Stage III. I remember the look on his face when he told me. Not fear, exactly. More like quiet acceptance. He'd always been the steady one. Even now, he was trying to protect me from his fear. "We'll fight it," he said. "Whatever it takes." We started treatment immediately. Chemo, surgery, more chemo. I took medical leave to help. Daniel's parents came to stay, helped with the kids, but the bills piled up. Daniel had to stop working. We drained savings, took out loans. Through it all, Daniel never complained. He'd sit through chemo with a book, holding my hand, asking about my day. He'd send me to take breaks because he knew I needed them. He worried more about the kids than himself, made sure I recorded video messages for each of them, just in case. One night, while he was sleeping, I went through his phone. I don't know why, guilt maybe. I found something I didn't expect, a draft email he'd never sent. To my family. If you're reading this, I'm gone. I want you to know how much I love you. Maya, you have your mother's strength. Liam, your laugh is the best sound in the world. Alina, you were my surprise, my joy. Sarah, you made me a father. You gave me everything. I hope you know how proud I am of you, of your work, your passion, your heart. Whatever happens, take care of each other. That's all I ever wanted. I cried that night. For the first time, I felt the full weight of what I'd done. A month later, Daniel's cancer spread. He was in hospice within weeks. I sat by his bed every day, holding his hand, watching him fade. He never stopped being kind. Even in pain, he'd ask about my day, about the kids, about work. He died on a Tuesday. Maya was 9, Liam 6, Alina 3. His parents were there, my parents, the kids. Daniel went peacefully, holding my hand. The funeral was packed. Teachers, students, neighbors, friends. Everyone talked about what a good man he was, how he'd made a difference, how he'd loved his family. I couldn't speak. I was too ashamed. After the funeral, I was going through his things. His desk, his clothes, the boxes of cards the kids had made over the years. In the back of his closet, I found a folder. Inside were printouts, emails, my emails, from Kyle, Marcus, Paul, conversations I'd thought I'd deleted. There were dates, times, details, photos I'd sent, texts I'd never imagined anyone would see. I sat on the floor, shaking. The folder was thick. He'd known, for years, while raising 3 kids he believed were his, while working extra jobs to support us, while paying for our house, our cars, their college funds, while going through cancer treatment he'd known, and he never said a word. At the bottom of the folder was a letter, handwritten. Sarah, I found this stuff 2 years ago. I don't know how long you've been doing this or why. I don't want to know. Maybe I should be angry. Maybe I should leave. But I look at our kids, our asterisk kids, the ones I've raised and loved from day one, and I can't imagine my life without them. Without you. I'm not going to confront you. I'm not going to make you explain. I'm choosing to stay, not because I'm weak, but because I believe in what we built. Whatever happened, whatever you did, I still love you. I still want to be your husband. I still want to be their father. Maybe that makes me a fool, but I'd rather be a fool who keeps his family than a man who walks away. When you're ready to tell me, I'll listen. Until then, I'll just keep being here, for them, for you. Always. Daniel. I don't know how long I sat there. Hours, maybe. The sun went down, the house was quiet. Daniel had known. He'd known about all of it, the affairs, the lies, the risk that none of the kids were his. And he'd stayed. He'd kept loving me, kept providing, kept being a father. He'd protected me from the consequences of my own choices, even when I didn't deserve it. Even when protecting me meant swallowing his own pain. I looked at the date on the letter. It was written 3 days before he started chemo. He'd found out, and still, he'd let me take the medical leave. Still, he'd been the one worrying about me. Still, he'd been the one recording messages for the kids, making sure they'd know he loved them. A few months later, I found a lump, breast cancer, stage II. I called Daniel's mother, crying. She came over, helped with the kids. She was distant. She'd figured some things out, I think, but she was there. For the kids. Chemo was brutal. The kids were scared. Maya held my hand during treatments, reading to me like Daniel used to read to her. Liam made me cards. Alina drew pictures. One night, Alina asked why I didn't look like Daddy in the photos anymore. I told her Daddy was in heaven. She said, "But Daddy's still here, right? He's in us." I held her and cried. The hardest part was the paternity question. I'd never tested the kids. I didn't want to know. But Daniel's parents wanted to set up trusts for the kids. Daniel had left money for their education, and they asked about DNA. For medical history, they said. I agreed, knowing what I might find. 2 were Daniel's, 1 wasn't. I don't know which one. I never asked. The lawyer handled it. The biological father had been a sperm donor. That's what Daniel's parents told the kids. That way, no one had to know. No one except me. Daniel had never told anyone about the affairs. Not his parents, not his friends, not his lawyer. He'd taken the secret to his grave, protecting me even in death. I look back at our life, all those years, and I see it differently now. The nights he stayed up with the kids, the extra tutoring sessions, the careful way he never asked too many questions about my work trips. He was carrying so much, and he never let me see it. He loved me so completely that he chose to be hurt rather than hurt our family. And I repaid that love with lies. But here's the thing, Daniel's choice, his silence, his forgiveness, his sacrifice, it didn't make me innocent. It didn't undo what I did, but it did something else. It showed me what love actually looks like, not possession, not control, not grand gestures. It's staying when it's easier to leave. It's offering grace when it's undeserved. It's loving someone despite everything they've done to hurt you. I'm in remission now, 3 years cancer-free. The kids are doing well. Maya is in high school, Liam in middle school, Alina in elementary. They know what Daniel meant to this family. They miss him every day. I'm writing this because I need to say it out loud, even if only to myself. I betrayed the best man I ever knew. I built a life on secrets, and I hurt people who never deserved it. Daniel would forgive me. He did forgive me. But I need to forgive myself, and that's harder. I look at my kids and see him. In Maya's steady calm. In Liam's gentle heart. In Alina's unwavering optimism. He lives in them. When I find myself missing him, which is every day, I remember the letter. I remember that he chose to love me anyway. I don't understand it. I don't deserve it. But I carry it with me, this gift I never asked for and never earned. I'm not the hero of this story. I'm not even a good person, not really. But I'm trying to be better. For the kids. For the memory of the man who loved me more than I deserved. And maybe, in some small way, that's enough. Daniel would be proud of you, I imagine him saying. And I believe it, because that's who he was. He always believed in me, even when I gave him every reason not to. I'm trying to become the woman he thought I was. It's the least I can do.